I'm just going to go through some of the trends that are happening. So like I said, if you're redecorating or remodeling, we can just talk about a few of those. So one of the big trends for 2025 is called biophilic design. And really what that pertains to is bringing the outdoors in, okay? So bringing nature inside. And there's a lot of studies going on right now that helps with things like health and well-being, but just kind of a sense of serenity. And it's just bringing a lot of those colors, textures, and things from the outside in. The first one we'll go with here, obviously greens. When you think about landscapes and forests, you think about a lot of greens. You're going to see one of our Roman shades here, and then some of the patterns that you can get in some of our fabrics. Greens are very popular to bring inside. That combination of greens and browns. Here we've got like our woven wood shades. You can also mix this with like some brown shutters or some rustic wood blinds. But again, just kind of bringing in those outdoorsy colors to the inside. Again, moving over to the browns, here's an area where I'll talk a little bit about energy efficiency too, which is a big word, when you're talking about trying to have efficiency in your house. Honeycomb shades, that's a large honeycomb. They're probably one of the most energy efficient shades you can get. You can get them in a lot of colors. Here you can see, like I said, it's like a really big pleat. But again, going with those browns, this is a roller shade pattern that we have. And again, those woven woods or bamboo shades, very popular. Also great insulator is your bamboo shade because you can have those lined. And anything with a lining helps with energy efficiency. Also, colors bringing, from the outside in, your coastal blues and teals. Very popular. That just brings that sense of the ocean right in your house. And again, you can see this with some drapery patterns, pillows. And this is a really unique product from Hunter Douglas. It's called a Pirouette. It's a shade that actually closes in the middle. So you get sort of this sheer factor going on. You can kind of see between it. So there are some really unique products that do exist in the window treatment world. It's not just your regular blinds and shades. And then your warm beiges, so again, sands, anything that feels like it's coming from the outside, you can see here. This is a trend, too, you'll see a lot of where people are adding kind of these wood slats to walls. So bringing in just these really nice warm beiges and creams into homes. So again, bringing that outside in is a really big trend. Another trend for 2025 are curves. So if you get on social media at all or you see any DIY projects, you're going to notice a lot of people are bringing back those arched doorways. These are some roller shade, and these are also some drapery fabrics, Roman shade fabrics. Again, great energy efficiency with draperies with that liner. Also, botanicals. Botanicals are not going away. They've been around since 2024, and they're here to stay. Continuing on with us. So another thing, if you've watched social media at all with DIY projects, you're going to notice a trend going on. We call it dark and moody. So bringing back that sort of accent wall, like really dark accent wall, has become very popular. And also painting small rooms, deep, rich, bold colors. So, everyone says, oh, it's a small room. Hey, I need to paint this white to make it bigger. But so many people now are just going in and painting these really dark, deep, bold colors. Designers are achieving that look with a really minimal palette, so you're not overwhelming things, okay? And a lot of times the patterns might be a little smaller, a little more minimalistic. Some of those colors you're going to see are like your dark blues, blacks, even your citrines and some jewel colors. Burgundies are also a very big hit. Again, with some dark grays, and some browns, and some blacks. So just a really, again, this might be something you just take a room and do this. It might be a library, or it might be a bedroom, an area that you just want that really kind of cozy, deep feel. And a lot of people are doing those. You'll see a lot of, really using black a lot on paint. So very, very common. Kind of the opposite of that is another area that we're seeing a big trend in window treatments is what we call quiet luxury. These are spaces that feel like sophisticated, more minimal, very timeless, that this room could be here for a very long time and work inside the house. It's not quite minimalism. So minimalism is sort of where everything's really white, straight lines. This is a little more about simplicity and elegance with warm colors mixed in. So you're going to see like a lot of caramels, a lot of warm beiges, and fabrics that range from maybe like velvets to very natural shades like this. Again, those woven wood shades or those bamboo or grass weave shades are becoming very popular right now just because of that whole outside-in sort of mentality. Here's kind of one room with a quiet luxury. There's another. On our window treatments here, these are metal blinds. You don't see a lot of the aluminum blinds anymore, but they're making those in a 2-inch, and they have a minimalistic kind of feel to them. So you'll kind of, also you can do them really big. So you'll see how that room, again, a kind of a minimal feel or sophisticated feel. And then something like this where, again, just really nice, light, clean colors, but you're bringing in those warm tones, okay? And so we've got some woven woods up here. Again, very energy efficient if you line those. So that's another reason to kind of have those in. Now, if you want to do a complete opposite of this, here is another trend. So less is more, right, is what we call it. And instead of minimalism, we sort of call this maximalism. And this is where you take really bold colors and patterns, and you create a room that's like a feel-good room, okay? So it's trying to bring this sense of happiness, feel-good mood into your house. And right away when you walk into a room like this, you're going to feel happy or creative or anxious. I don't know, this can make you also have a little anxiety. It might make me feel that way, but I love the bold colors and patterns and how you can mix so many of them and they just kind of sort of create a statement. You're going to see a lot of jewel tones like amethyst, emerald, citrine, and I'm going to kind of take you through a couple of these and kind of show you how that maximalism comes into play. Here you can see we've got some great draperies. We didn't go crazy here with pattern, but we're just really bold with colors. So you're going to see some of those jewel tones in there. This is one of our drapery fabrics where you could come in and bring in some pillows, but you can just see how those colors really work together. Again, not a room with a lot of patterns, but just a lot of play on color. Here we just did where we boxed off that drape. And just simple colors, but taking two of them, making one of them very bold, just makes this room really happy, really colorful when you walk in it. Here is kind of on the opposite end of that where they took a lot of patterns, all right? So you can kind of see some things going on here, especially with the window treatments. These are sheer valances, sheer drapes, and then kind of came in with this cloth tape. Or decorative tape on the edges here, and just mixed a lot of different patterns, but the room works. It becomes very eclectic, a little eccentric, it's a fun room. When you want something that is just kind of a place to have fun, these are great rooms. You don't have to do colors. Again, you can just take bold patterns, and here again a little monochromatic, but you can see this is one of our roller shade fabrics mixed with one of our drapery fabrics, and you can just see how it play on really bold patterns. Again, not a lot of use of color, but one color just used a lot of different ways, right? So we took some blues here, and you can see everything from, a pattern here, and this pattern is completely different. But it works in this room because it just makes this room really a lot of fun, bringing in blues. Again, roller shades are a product that, I say this constantly, they're not our grandmama's roller shades, okay? They're not the vinyl roller shades that you pull down and they flip up. Their mechanisms are a lot different, and they've come in with a lot of different patterns. So these are also not only roller shade fabrics, but also some of our drapery patterns as well. And then this is an interesting room because there is a theory. It's called the unexpected red theory. So you're going to notice in here we've got some oranges, we've got some like corals and some peaches, and then we've got those woven wood shades, again kind of bringing that back in. But there's this theory about throwing in a hint of red somewhere. It can be really small, and it sort of brings cohesiveness to a room. You can almost take any room and throw something red in it that's, like I said, small or large, and it brings the room together. not sure how it happens, but it just seems to happen every time you bring a piece of red into a room. So those are some of the kind of maximalism, bold colors, a trend that's really happening. Again, you're going to probably pick a special room to do this in. We see a lot of sunrooms being done in this, or maybe a guest bedroom. That's a really fun place to do something like that, or a reading room, or someplace that you just want to walk into every day and feel like you're happy. So I would be, if we're talking about trends for 2024, motorization. So kind of off the colors a little bit, but maybe a few of the benefits now. So there's motorization and there's automation. And motorization is pretty simple. It's a remote, and it's going to be maybe windows that are, well, I would say in the past it's always been high windows you couldn't get to, windows over a bathtub, and now I can motorize it to take that up and down. And that's kind of in its simplistic form. And now what we're seeing more is home automation. More home automation. So the way this works is you have a hub that's attached, that's talking to the shades, and you can use your phone. And that way you can schedule times of the day. You can have scenes, like if you want entertainment night or movie night, and you can also hook this up to Alexa, and you can also hook this up to like Google Home. And these have a lot of benefits as well. So some benefits are, let's say you have a window where the sun comes in every day at 3 o'clock, and you know that sun's hitting there at 3 to 4 o'clock every day. You can schedule your shades to come down at 3 o'clock. You're not home, so you're getting energy efficiency. You're also controlling fading that's probably happening to your floors, and that's a really nice benefit of automation. Another nice benefit of automation is you go away for a week, and you want somebody to kind of feel like somebody's at the house. You can have your shades go up and down certain times of the day, so it kind of feels like you're at home. And sometimes it's just cool. I mean, there's a cool factor to it. You walk in the house, say, Alexa, take up my shades. Got a couple neighbors with you. It seems really cool when you do it, but it's fun, So sometimes you can just be the hit of the neighborhood. But smart home, this is definitely not going anywhere. This is actually changing daily. If you're building a house, a great time to get to think about this is when you're with your builder or when you're with your electrician, and you can hardwire for this. So then you don't have to worry about batteries or rechargeable. Otherwise, if you're doing a remodel or something after the fact, they're battery operated, rechargeable, like you plug in your phone. Okay. So that's kind of it for 2024 trends. I will add one that is not on the slide. Outdoor has become a really huge trend for 2025. So everyone kind of remodeled their kitchens and their bathrooms, and they were like, what's next? And so outdoor spaces are really big. You'll see a lot of your garden people here, outdoor space people. And that's another thing we can help with. We can come out and do solar shades or different products on your patio so that you can enjoy them. So you put up a patio, sun's barreling in, you can't really enjoy it at times of the day. I had the same thing happen. We built a patio, we're on the west side of the house, and we have an overhang, but that sun barrels in, and in the afternoon when you're really wanting to cook, you can't really do that. So we have some products called solar shades, and they can run on tracks, or they can run on cable guides or different systems, so that when you're out there, you can not only enjoy the, protecting against the sun, but like in the winter, I can put those shades down. I have a little heater in there, and it sort of insulates that area as well. So solar shades or even like vinyl shades are really good for outdoor as well. So another trend you're going to see kind of in the home remodeling world is the outdoor spaces. People spending a lot of time and money on those, and those are solutions we can kind of provide as well. So again, my name is Corey. I'm with Budget Blinds. We come out and we do a free consultation. Our designer will have every kind of product we have in their van and all their fabrics. They'll measure for free, leave you a quote, and help you with design choices, or help you if you have specialty shaped windows or problematic windows or anything that's just unique or different. We can also help with that as well. Okay? So thank you guys. I appreciate the small but mighty. Thank you guys. Yes. Yes.
For like an open deck,
Mm-hmm.
you really can't put blinds anywhere, but do you put like an overhang?
So we don't do awnings, but if you've got the post and a top post, we can put shades with like cable guides and tracks, as long as you've got sort of 4 posts that that we can attach something to in a header. Yeah, so, and it's something we can come out and assess as well. So if you have any questions about it, but yeah, if you've just got a deck that nothing's coming out on it, so we really don't do awnings, but you would want somebody that does awnings. Anna's Awnings here in Hickory, they do a lot of those, and so they could help you out with that. So it kind of makes that awning. Yeah, or have someone come out, and just kind of put your post up. You don't even have to have a top to it. You could do more like a pergola, but you can do the shades around the sides, and then really enjoy. We had an open deck for years, and again, we thought about doing an awning. We were a little concerned about how that was going to stand up over time, so we wound up building sort of a covered patio, and now we have those solar shades on there to help with that. Yeah, so.
We already have a deck that's got it's a closed deck.
Yeah. Okay.
A closed deck and an open deck.
Yes, an open part.
The closed deck is already screened.
Yes. Yeah.
And I guess the blinds would be like the roll down, like
They are.
you see in the restaurants.
Well, yeah, so they're like a roller shade. They're made out of material, and I've got one in the booth if you want to see it, but it's called a solar material, and it's a PVC-coated plastic. And you can kind of see through it, so you don't lose a lot of visibility, but it does a really good job. So, yeah, if you've sit in a Chick-fil-A or a Panera Bread, yeah, those are the kind of shades we're talking about. And they're meant to be exterior. You can spray them down with a hose. They're meant to withstand the wind and rain and the elements. Typically, the headrail is going to be powder coated. Any of the parts on it are going to be steel parts, so it's meant to last outside. But they do a great job of still giving you a little visibility because you probably so you can see out a little bit. But they do an amazing job of blocking sun, which it kind of feels weird because they're like these little tiny holes in it, and you're thinking, how is that going to stop sun coming in? But it's one of the most energy efficient shades you can get are those solar shades. Yeah.
Can you just go halfway down?
You can come down, especially if you have a rail or anything like that. You can.
We have cats.
Yeah, you can come halfway down. Yeah, I understand that. We have cats too. Yeah, but yeah, so a lot of them will have like cable guides on them or ways to hook those into the poles or the beams, and so that you can just bring it halfway down and the wind's not really blowing it, as bad and things of that nature. So a lot of different options with outdoor. Yeah.
And you do the free estimate.
We do. We come out, we'll do the measuring and everything and leave you with a quote. If you scan the code, it'll take you to our website, but otherwise, there's some brochures and some Huggies over here, and our phone number's on there. We'll come out. Okay? Thank you. I appreciate you guys very much. Thanks for being here.
Name?
Corey. My name's Corey Peters. Yeah.
Thanks, Corey.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you in the back.
And if you have a window that's
glass doors. I
Oh.
have the typical vertical blinds thing. Is
I-
there something new with that?
There is. There's something new. We have a new product called a Smart Drape. And I'm going to see if I can find it on here. Who knows what you're going to see on my computer right now? No, you're fine. I've got 5,000 tabs up, and everyone
You
always.
have the one that goes because it's like a semicircle
Yes.
on top of the door.
Yes.
We don't have blinds for that, but we have for the other room.
So for the half arches, we have like shutters, honeycomb shades. Make those in a fan. We have a product in the booth right now called a decorative grill where you can put a solar shade on the back of it. So we have some options.
You have a booth.
We do. We're at 706, I believe.
Okay.
My husband should be there,
All right.
but I can show you some options for that. I'm going to show you the Smart Drape. So first of all, you have verticals, which you can do in a vinyl or also a material if you want something a little softer. This is a new product that we have, but I'll tell you about some other products as well. I don't know if you'll be able to hear this.
For every window, there are moments. A
So
moment of calm when you can see beyond your horizon.
this is called a Smart Drape.
Inspiration when you realize
They're individual pieces. They're not hard. They're like a drape. They're individual pieces. It's on a track.
Oh, yeah, like the normal plastic thing.
Yeah, but these are not. These are just material, just all soft. And the nice thing about it is when they're closed, you can walk through them. Okay, so so if you had the doors open, you can walk through them. But the very nice thing, see, she's walking through it. The very nice thing about it is they're the only window treatment that you can take off and wash. You can throw those individual veins in the washing machine on delicate.
And it doesn't crack.
No, because it's almost like a drapery sheer material, but you can see when it's open, it's sheer and you can see it. But then when she turns that, there's a part of the material that's dark, and it'll give you privacy. And you can take it left, you can take it right, you can split. As you can see, it goes up to 245 inches. You can do motorized. It's probably one of the things we sell the most. It's got a good price point on it. You see there, when she had it closed, you had privacy. But when you keep it open, you can kind of see through it. So it's kind of the best of both worlds. You can kind of tilt it a little bit.
Capture the beauty of movement.
And I've got some of the fabrics in there,
Shadow, light, and darkness.
but we do that as well.
Through Smart Drape
And if
soft
somebody came out to look at my
echoey
place,
soft
they
fold
would have
drapery.
said,
They would have samples of that. I'm going to show you. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm going to show you real quick a couple other things for your sliding glass door. There are a lot more things available than used to be. Product pics. I have a folder just on sliding glass doors for that reason. Okay.
in the wintertime, and I used to live in Denver, I'd made
Okay.
some warm windows,
Okay.
draperies.
Yes.
And put those like on the outside.
Yes. Yeah, and draperies are a great option for that, if you like draperies. This is a product, so I don't know if you remember, I was talking about those bamboo or woven woods. This is a product that they call a woven wood drape. And so it's on a slide, and it slides very easily, but you can have those bamboo kind of materials. You can get it lined as well. You can see there it kind of matches with the windows. And it's so easy, like with your hand. And you can do browns, you can do tans. Here's another option on a sliding glass door. You can do shutters, okay? But you've got to have a little room. Yep, you got to have a little room off to the side for them to move back. But they're a little different, where these will fold all the way back to the wall. And you see that's what it looks like when it's closed. Again, see that one, I don't think they had room to fold it all the way back, so it does stick out a little bit, but it will fold all the way back to the wall. Also, sliding panels. Let me see if I can make this bigger. So this is material that comes from our woven wood or roller shade line. Let me find you one that's from our roller shade line. So they're like large panels of material. They're not going to turn or anything like a vertical. They're just going to slide left and right. So another product for sliding glass doors. There you go. There it is on a sliding glass door. Another one, just a different color. Another option, shades. We do a lot of these, and so I'll tell you the pros and cons of this. The pro of this is they get up and get out of the way. I don't take that vertical wall space or the space on the sides. They come down, they give you privacy. This is actually kind of a solar one that you can see through. The downside,
Motorized, or you actually
well, you can do it either way, motorized, or you can see over here, I don't know if you can kind of see them, there are these cord loops right there, little chains.
Yeah.
Because it is a taller window, so you can do cordless, but it'd be a little harder to do the cordless. You're fine. I don't know. I guess. So, so when you get them up, when you take them up and they're out of the way, the only downside is if you do have these down, to go in and out the door, you got to take them up. So it kind of depends on what you need them for. If you're like, hey, I just use these at night for privacy, then I can take them down, at night when I go to bed, take them up during the day, and then I have everything open. Or you could keep the sides down. Now this is like a four door. If you just have like sort of the regular slides left or right. Sometimes people will do one large one, or they might do two so that they can keep that fixed one down. But we do a lot of there's your double. And we do a lot of those just because they're pretty simplistic. They get up and get out of the way. Like I said, there's one on a double door.
are they expensive?
Yeah, they run pretty. So verticals are probably your least expensive, but I would say roller shades and then that smart drape are kind of next in line. So they're not bad, not bad at all. There you go, another one on a sliding glass door. I'm going to show you another product. So honeycombs.
Taking a lot of your time.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I'll just show you one last thing. So honeycombs. I don't know if you've had those. They're honeycomb shades. This is kind of a bad picture.
Some out there.
Yes. So they do a vertical honeycomb, and so it slides left and right. So if you wanted something that was really energy efficient, here's a good example of one over a sliding glass
That
door.
would be nice
Yes.
And I've got like 6 windows.
Yes.
And then the sliding glass door.
Uh-huh.
So I could do honeycomb.
In the
all
windows?
of them.
Yeah, yep, you could do the ones that lift up and down in the windows, and then over on the door, you can do the one that goes left and right. So it matches, yeah. So a lot of good examples, but like I said, when they come out, when Cindy's my salesperson around this area, when she comes out, she can kind of give you all those ideas as well. Yeah, or you stop by the booth for some other ones. Yes, they have some neat stuff in the world of blinds, you know. Well, thank you.
I just moved into a